All right, let's jump right into a thought experiment that is, well, it's both absolutely fascinating and, not gonna lie, a little terrifying. It's a question that really gets to the core of what keeps us alive.
So, just imagine that. For 5 short seconds, the very stuff that carries life to every single cell in your body just becomes plain old H2O. I'm not talking diluted or thinner, I mean pure, simple water. What would actually happen in that time?
Okay, so to really get the stakes here, you have to understand just how different these two fluids are. Blood is thick, it's this complex soup full of cells that are built to haul oxygen around. Water, on the other hand, it's thin, and it carries none of that vital cargo. But the single most important difference, the one that kicks off the whole catastrophe in this scenario, is something called viscosity. So what is viscosity? Simply put, it's just a fluid's thickness. Its resistance to flowing. And here is the absolute key. Your heart has evolved over millions of years to pump something thick. That very thickness is what lets it build up enough pressure to shove oxygen into the tiniest little corners of your body, your brain, your fingertips, everywhere. You take that away, the whole system just fails.
And we're not talking about a small change here. It's not a gentle slope, it's a cliff. Your blood suddenly becomes 8 times less viscous. That's kind of like trying to power a massive hydraulic press with, I don't know, a bit of fog. The entire mechanical foundation of your circulatory system is about to just vanish.
So, the clock starts ticking. We've got 5 seconds. Let's break this down second by agonizing second. 1 second. That's all it takes. The change is instant, and it is catastrophic.
Your heart is still beating, right? But it's expecting to push against thick blood, and now it's just pumping water. The pressure in your arteries completely vanishes. The heart's pumping becomes totally useless, because it's pushing a fluid that gives no resistance back. With no pressure to keep them open, the tiniest blood vessels in your fingers and toes literally collapse on themselves, and your most important organs, your brain and your kidneys, are immediately starved of flow.
We're at 2 seconds, and that mechanical failure now sparks a massive chemical crisis.
See, with no red blood cells, oxygen delivery just stops completely. Your brain, which is an oxygen hog, is the first to sound the alarm. Neurons start to misfire. Your vision blurs. Sounds get weird and distorted. Even your lungs are in trouble because they can't exchange gas with this watery fluid. Your muscles start to twitch uncontrollably.
3 seconds in, your body's emergency systems kick in, trying to fight back, but they're already doomed.
Your body senses this insane pressure drop and does what it's built to do. It dumps adrenaline into the system to try and squeeze the blood vessels. But here's the really cruel twist. The adrenaline is floating in a fluid that can't carry it anywhere effectively. It's like sending a text message with no cell signal. Your heart is straining so hard it's risking tiny tears in its own muscle, and your brain makes a last-ditch effort to send what little flow is left to your vital core.
4 seconds. Now, the fight is being lost on a microscopic level.
Down at the cellular level, things are getting desperate. Your cells are starving for oxygen, so they switch to this emergency backup generator that produces lactic acid as a toxic waste product. Your thinking gets fuzzy. Tunnel vision starts to set in. This is your body entering a state of shock. It's shutting down from the inside out.
5 seconds. This is it. We're on the absolute edge, the brink of total system failure. At this point, oxygen transport is basically zero. Your entire nervous system is teetering on the verge of just shutting off. And get this, without the internal pressure from your blood vessels holding everything in place, your organs actually start to shift slightly. You are, by the thinnest, most unbelievable margin, still alive. And then, just as fast as it started, it's over. The 5 seconds are up, and your blood is blood again.
The resilience of the human body is just mind-blowing. The second that viscosity comes back, pressure instantly stabilizes. The heart finally has something to push against. A huge wave of red blood cells rushes oxygen to your starving brain. Your body starts this incredible, complex dance of reestablishing balance, what we call homeostasis. It's an almost instantaneous snapback from the very edge of disaster.
But you wouldn't just stand up and walk away like nothing happened.
Oh no, that 5-second trauma would absolutely leave its mark. We're talking microscopic damage to the lining of your blood vessels, ruptured capillaries, and just immense stress on your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. It would take you hours, maybe even days to fully recover from that. When you boil it all down, this whole thought experiment really shows us a profound truth about ourselves. 5 seconds. That's all it takes to bring the entire, beautiful, intricate architecture of life right to the very edge of collapse.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, doesn't it? Our bodies perform this incredible, precise balancing act millions of times a day, and we never even notice. It really makes you wonder, just how fragile is this normal that we take for granted with every single beat of our hearts?